Okay, so again, domain, all of the possible inputs of a function, your x values, the range is going to be all the possible outputs of a function, your y values. So on this first graph where we just have points, we're looking for x values, which are 2, 3, and 5. Ranges of y values 2, 5, and 6. Okay, so let's say I have those same 3 points, but instead I'm going to connect them like this. Right, making this a continuous graph. So those are the same points, 2, 2, 3, 6, and 5, 5. Okay, so it's a little bit different here because we are connecting the points. So now we still have 2 as a starting point, okay? But since this line basically is giving you an input, because even though that's the point I've highlighted, this is still a point, this is still a point, this is still a point. All of these, there's an infinite amount of points we could really list out in between those main points that we've highlighted. So the way we would say this is, okay, well, what's my furthest point to the left? Well, that would be 2. Furthest point to the right would be 5. So we would say all numbers basically from 2 to 5. Okay, so that still includes the 3, but it also includes 4. It includes 2.5. It includes 4.36789, all of these little points that we're not emphasizing, we're not highlighting. Since it's connected, we are still including those points. So again, this is your furthest point to the left to your furthest point to the right. Okay, the range is going to be similar with that y values. We're going to start with our lowest point, which in this case is 2. Okay, and then go up to our highest y value, which in this case would be 6. Okay, so your range is asking what is the lowest point to the highest point. Okay, so I'm going to show you kind of what I like to do that helps me, you know, kind of figure it all out. Okay, so I have this kind of an oval shape here. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to draw a line straight down on my point from the furthest to the left and a line straight down on my point furthest to the right. Okay, and that's going to give me the domain down there because that's my furthest point. To the left would be 2. Furthest point to the right, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, same thing with the range. I'm going to find my lowest point, kind of draw a line all the way over to the y-axis, and the same thing for my highest point. Okay, and that's going to give me my range. So my lowest point is at 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My highest point is at 6. Okay, so that's just something I like to do. You don't necessarily have to do that. So another one here. Domain, left, furthest point to the right is there. So this is at negative 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you'll see me start to abbreviate domain with just the letter D and range with the letter R. Okay, furthest point to the right, 1, 2, 3, positive 4. Okay, for my range, again, lowest value first, negative 1, 2, 3. Highest value, positive 2. Okay, so this is how we'll have you guys write it out, just kind of like that. Okay, once you get into some higher level classes, you'll start to see it written like this. Okay, or like this. Okay, all that means is all real numbers from -4 to 4. Okay, so if you see something like that, don't get too confused. Okay, we'll only ask you to write it like this for this class. Okay, range, if you see it somewhere like that, it just means, all that means is it's a number set. Use those symbols on the outside to make it a number set. So it just includes all numbers from -3 to 2, from -4 to 4. Okay, but if you wrote it like this, that's fine for this class. All right, another thing you might see is something with an arrow like this, which just means the graph's going to continue going that way forever and ever. So how do we write that? Well, our domain, still, we're looking for our furthest point to the left, which in this case would be at +1. Okay, but as we try and find our furthest point to the right, the arrow means the graph just keeps going forever and ever. So we write that as from 1 to infinity. Okay, just sideways 8. Okay, meaning it just goes on forever and ever. Same thing with our range. What's our lowest value? Right there at +2. Okay, even though it's going to the right faster than it's going up, it is still going up forever. Okay, there's no endpoint to that, so that would be from 2 to -infinity, or I'm sorry, 2 to +infinity. Right, on this one, we got a negative parabola. Okay, so we're looking for the furthest point to the left, but as this is going down, it's also going to the left forever. So if it goes to the left forever, we say that's -infinity. Same thing on the right. going forever, so it's positive infinity. Okay, you could also write that as all real numbers. Same thing. Okay, there's also a symbol for it. It's basically an R with a line down the middle of it. Okay, so if we asked you for the domain or the range and it was from negative infinity to infinity, you could write all real numbers. That's fine as well. You could also use that symbol. I'm not sure there's a symbol for it on a computer. Sure there is somewhere, but for the most part, you could write negative infinity to positive infinity. You could write all real numbers or use that symbol. Okay, so now I'm trying to find the range, trying to find the lowest value, but since it keeps going down forever, I'm not going to find it. I'm just going to find negative infinity. And my highest value is right there at 1, 2, positive 3. All right, have you guys try these on your own? I'll write the points in there to kind of help. 0, 3. All right, so try those on your own. Write the domain and range. Give you about 5, 6 minutes, maybe a little bit more. All right, so for the first one here, you're just given points. Okay, so it's just going to be a list of points. Your x values are 0, 2, and 3. Okay, your range is going to be your y values. Lowest one is 1, 3, and 5. All right, next one, it's connected, so it's all the points in between. So our first one will be our domain. For this point to the left is at +1. Goes all the way to our furthest point to the right, which is at +5. Our range, lowest value, -1, highest value, +5. And domain and range on the last one, furthest value to the left here is at +2. Okay, arrows mean this keep going to the right forever. So it'd be from 2 to infinity. And then our range, arrow is going to the right, but it's also going down forever. So we would say it goes from -infinity and it goes up forever as well. So -infinity to +infinity, or you could say all real numbers. All right, we'll do one more. All right, try that one on your own. All right, domain for this point to the left, -3. For this point to the right, +1. Range, your lowest value, there's actually 2 of them there at -4. Highest value up there at 0.